Will the commissioners take their seats? Yes, yes.
I don't feel comfortable saying so help me God.
No, yeah, that's not part of this, of the constitutional oath. So
Okay.
I'm going to tell people this.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. What? Okay.
I'm gonna work on getting it off of it.
I like that this wall is just high enough to hide all the clutter on the desks.
Oh, right, yeah.
We're waiting for Andy. Here it comes.
It's gotta be open.
And he was looking down, I was looking at her from mid. I see Andy now. In the brains of the desk.
All right, are we all here now for? Good evening. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It is. Yeah. It is my duty at the beginning, at the first meeting of every year, to chair the first meeting of the Board of Commissioners for the year until the board elects its own chair. And this is, I guess, it was pointed out to me, this is the 21st time I will be doing this. Before we begin the meeting, I think we should go ahead and swear in all of you newly elected commissioners. Now, I should say that the oath printed on the card is not the correct oath. It's not the constitutional oath, and which does not contain the religious words that are in the card that you have in front of you. You're free to cross that out. I will be reading to you the oath as it appears in the Michigan State Constitution. So I don't think that it's necessary for you to stand. In fact, one time I had everyone stand, and that meant that the camera captured everybody's stomach, you know. So I think that you could remain seated in your place and raise your right hand. I do, you repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Washtenaw County Commissioner according to the best of my ability. Congratulations. I somewhat take advantage of my privilege of being here by making a few remarks at the beginning of the year. I will note that this board looks a lot like last year's board, that we have very good continuity in our county leadership here in this respect, and the all 9 of you who were here last year are here again, and we have some continuity and some change in the county elected positions. I mean, I'm here, and the prosecuting attorney continues to be here, and I really honestly thank and express my humble appreciation for my reelection as county clerk. But we now have a new sheriff, we have a new county treasurer, and we have a new county water resources commissioner. And those folks are going to need your help and support in settling into their new positions, their new responsibilities. The other thing that I always mention at, around this table, at least in recent years, is that I know that all 9 of you have something in common. You're all belong to the same political party, and that's great for us as Democrats. But it also means that not sorry. In all political humility to pay some attention to people in your district who might have different views and take those into account. You don't need to agree with them. The majority of the county elected you to hold these responsibilities, but do not close your ears to other points of view. I will now call the meeting officially to order, and the first item is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call.
Commissioner Beaman,
Present.
Commissioner Howard,
Here.
Commissioner LeBar,
Here.
Commissioner Light,
Present.
Commissioner Machewski,
Here.
Commissioner Robbie, Commissioner Sanders,
Present.
Commissioner Scott. Here. Commissioner Somerville.
Here.
Thank you. Now is the time for a brief public participation. If any member of the public would like to come up to the podium and speak to the Board of Commissioners on their first meeting of the year, please do, and identify your name and jurisdiction. And there's a I think a 3-minute, I believe, time limit on these. So please come and we will be heard.
Thank you all for having me again, and congratulations to you. It's nice to see you and all that. Name's Jeremy Haley, and I live in Ypsi Township. And I'm here, and for a while now, I've been hearing about, affordability housing in Washtenaw County. And it really came to a head for me in April when I actually was able to buy a house through a program through Washtenaw. And it really reflected the disparity in this county. You either have $500,000 plus homes, or you have to live in apartments. It leaves nobody in between. And I know some people who say they actually like that disparity because it keeps the other people who can't afford to live in Beverly Hills out, and it keeps the place safe. I hope, that's just a one-off. And it really reflects on the county that you don't have any other homes that are actually built in the $200,000 range, that people who actually graduating from college, getting their first jobs, starting their first families, actually can't afford. I've moved from Dexter. I lived at Walkabout Creek in the housing subsidy program they had there. The reason why I moved, they were shutting down the program. 30-year program in 2026, and Mr. offered me a program. And I said, they're shutting that one down, so I'm going to do this one. And I know people who lived there who were paying as much rent, who could afford a home like I can, as much as a mortgage. I'm just asking for you all to, I've heard about it, but nobody's ever described it or really set or just what it is exactly. What it is, you got a whole bunch of high-priced homes, especially out in Scioto Township. That's all they ever built. I know in Dexter for 20 plus years, me with my disability, I had to get a home with a ranch because I couldn't take walking upstairs no more. Can't find that in Dexter. Not in the new homes that they're building in Chelsea either. Maybe you'll find that out in Manchester, That's what I mean. And it takes people who'd want to live in this county to have to live in Jackson County, to jump the county lines, to even afford a home. And leaves them to drive in all the way to work, to commute. You know, there's people who work in the city of Dexter who can't even own a home in the city of Dexter. It's kind of sad. And I don't know what the solution is on that, but I'm just here to voice the concern that I felt personally. I see a lot of people in that same position that would like to have that opportunity to have a home and not have to be forced to live in an apartment. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to address the board? Anyone else? Oh, yes, please.
Yes, clerk, we have someone online.
Okay,
First, we have Catherine Marie Layton.
okay, proceed.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. I'm Kat Layton. I'm an Ypsilanti resident. First is congratulations to the newly sworn commissioners and good luck with selecting your chairs and vice chairs. I just want to bring your attention to a few matters. First, there were 2 resolutions that were unanimously passed in Ypsilanti last night with some amendments to the language. And that is one, a resolution to request the county to allocate funds towards the establishment and operation of a permanent shelter in Ypsilanti for individuals experiencing homelessness. And the other one is a resolution requesting that the county Board of Commissioners commit funding for an unarmed crisis response program and also directing some RFP type of program, which I know someone mentioned possibly working with the county on an RFP with the local org in Ypsilanti, but I just wanted to bring your attention to those 2 things. Specifically in the one about the shelter, it does mention 750 Towner as a possible resource. I know that I had mentioned back in April at a millage advisory committee meeting and commission meeting that 750 Towner is underutilized. There's been a lot of millage money going to that specific line item, and it's not an operational 24/7 crisis center, even though that's what some of the millage money has been paying for through CMH's allocated funds. I know that there's, conversation that there's a small amount of staff working in there, but there's a lot of space still at 555 Towner. And I think properties could be better utilized, especially since there's people who are freezing and cold and have nowhere to go, and we're in desperate need of a shelter. And also in an August millage advisory committee meeting, I believe CMH administration said that the millage advisory or the millage money had been going towards renovating that property. Even though it wasn't a fully operational 24/7 crisis stabilization unit as what was intended for that funding. So just wanted to bring those 2 things up, and look forward to hearing how y'all have a conversation around that in the future. Ypsilanti desperately needs help. There's been talk about the eastern part of the county and involving all municipalities in that conversation, which yes, it's important to have cross-municipal dialogue. But the shelter should absolutely be in Ypsi proper since there is a high need and demand there. Many people who go to Ypsi or from Ypsi to Ann Arbor access resourcing there. They live in Ypsi, and Ypsi has the highest rate of fatal overdoses in Washtenaw County and the second outside of Detroit in the state. So we're in a lot of desperate need out there. So please help us, and thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other public comment? Yes, another one?
Yes,
Go ahead.
clerk. Next, we have Mary Campbell.
Proceed.
Good evening. My name is Mary Campbell. I work for Washtenaw County, and I am the AFSCME president for Local 2733. I just wanted to join in and congratulate the new commissioners that have just been sworn in and say welcome to 2025.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else? All right, I will close public participation, and now the next item is commissioner follow-up to public participation. Any commissioners have anything they'd like to say? Commissioner Light.
To our public comment, well, first of all, thank everyone for coming out tonight, and for those that gave public comment, it is appreciated, and Happy New Year. So about the unarmed task force, I would like to invite a conversation with our sheriff, if that could be a conversation, if we could come around the table and we could discuss that with the sheriff, since that is a new project that has went forth with our new sheriff, and more than a 3-minute comment. It's going to take a lot of more conversation than that. And secondly, about the shelter in Ypsilanti 48197 and 98, there are other available opportunities throughout the county for sheltering. And that is also a conversation that I think that needs to be deliberated on outside of the 3-minute window. And I invite a conversation with myself and other commissioners to discuss that. But as of now, I would like for Ypsi City Council to think about other options as far as sheltering around the county. We have a huge county. District 2 has a lot of space. And just remember, if transportation and other resources are something that is a worry, the Biden-Harris administration provided $20 million to AATA. So there are a lot of things that we need to discuss and talk about before we just jump right into wanting to provide a shelter, because we can get that shelter and we can have our homeless sheltered. But I think we have available options throughout the county. Thank you.
All right. Any other commissioners? Commissioner Labar.
Thank you, Clerk. I would echo some of those points that Commissioner Light just raised, and just say I did not have knowledge ahead of last night's meeting in terms of what the city council was doing in Ypsilanti. I certainly welcome that discussion. I'd certainly pay great deference to the commissioner from Ypsilanti and the commissioners from the adjacent areas. We are going to have our continuum of care retreat next Tuesday. That will be sort of a broad, big picture goal setting for that body, and I'm sure this will come up, but I would just encourage any and all collaboration in terms of connecting the needs that were expressed in that resolution last night that are specific in terms of location. I'd hope we could incorporate some of the data we've seen from pit counts and from other direct service responses, just to make sure if we go that route that we're doing it in the way that will sort of serve the most need. And I would also just echo that, with the transition in DC coming in, we will need to see what HUD policy and what HHS policy looks like a little bit under this new administration, just to begin looking at any and all additional or different funding opportunities that might exist. But happy to have that conversation, and look forward to looking to some of my colleagues around this table for their thoughts first and foremost as we look into it. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you. Anyone else? Commissioner Hodge. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you, Clerk Hassamam. I just want to address the first speaker. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name when you said it, but I want to tell you, I feel like I understand what you're talking about housing prices in this county. I bought my house in 2009 as an affordable bungalow here in the city of Ann Arbor, and I couldn't buy that house today in 2024 because of the appreciation value. And I think that's unfortunate, because I think here, not only in Ann Arbor, but in the county, we need to have affordable places for people who are working in the county to live. As many of you know, my full-time job is working as a nurse, and I in one of the larger units in my hospital with around 100 nurses who work on that unit, and I think 3 of us live in the city. So there's definitely an issue with trying to make things and keep things affordable for working people, for young families, for families to live here in the county. And I'm eager to see what we might be able to do over the next 4 years to help to try to address that. So thanks for bringing those comments to us. I think you probably saw a lot of us nodding. I would just reiterate also what my colleagues have said about the meeting in Ypsi City last night, and I think there's a lot more to talk about. It was not something I knew was on the agenda because I don't know that any of us were alerted to that county involvement would be being discussed at that meeting. Otherwise, I probably would have tuned in to hear more about it at that time. So eager to have more discussions and to think about what might be done. And definitely will look to deferring to Commissioner Somerville, who is the representative for Ypsi. Thanks.
Commissioner Hodge.
Thank you, Chair. Jeremy is the first speaker. Nice to see you again. Happy New Year. I know we need to connect about the highway situation. Holidays hit, so we didn't get a chance to connect, but I want to talk to you too about the housing issues that you brought up. So look for an email from me. I'd love to schedule a time to talk to you about it. Thank you.
Excellent. Any other commissioner follow-up? All right, we will continue to liaison reports. Are there any liaison reports at this time? If not, we will proceed to our special order of business, the election of chair, first of all. And I am going to open the floor for nominations, and I have been advised that it is permissible for a person making a nomination to also speak to that nomination at that point if they desire to. Commissioner Hodge.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to nominate Commissioner Scott to be Chair of the Board of Commissioners. I think she's demonstrated excellent leadership over her time on the board, which exceeds my time. So it's some time I've been able to observe that before I was on the Board of Commissioners. It's been great to work with her, specifically around issues related to health. We've been, I think, great partners on the Board of Health and working closely with the Health Department. And I know that her perspective on human services as we move forward into what we anticipate will be a challenging time engaging with the federal government and other potential challenges at the state level, I think she's well positioned to lead us in a lot of that work. So very happy to make this nomination.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Commissioner Light.
I would like to nominate Commissioner Caroline Sanders as she is our sitting vice chair. And I am confident that with this next term that she would be able to operate under transparency and operate in fairness, and to make sure that our residents are always kept in mind first. Commissioner Sanders, this will be her third term, and I believe that she, at this time, under the new administration that we will have, she will be able to direct us in a way that we need, and she will have representation, not just for the Black and Brown community, but for everyone. What better person to be able to represent all.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? I will consider nominations closed. It's been suggested that we do a roll call vote. Since this is not something that has been a usual situation to have more than one candidate for chair at the same time. So I would like the clerk to call the roll and respond with which of the two candidates, Commissioner Scott or Commissioner Sanders, that you wish to vote for.
Commissioner Beaman.
Commissioner Scott.
Commissioner Hodge.
Commissioner Scott.
Commissioner LeBarra.
Commissioner Scott.
Commissioner Light.
Commissioner Sanders.
Commissioner Machewski.
Commissioner Scott.
Commissioner Robbie. Commissioner Sanders.
Me. Sanders.
Commissioner Scott.
Scott.
Commissioner Somerville.
Commissioner Scott.
All right. Given that she has the majority of the votes, I announce that Katie Scott is now the chair of the Board of Commissioners, and I will hand the gavel over to her.
All the things. You only want to shake your hand. Thanks, Larry.
Well, you're most welcome.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I'll have more to say later probably, but thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm going to continue to move us ahead with business. At this time, I will now accept nominations for the County Board of Commissioners Vice Chair. And I'm going to take a little bit of my own precedence here that I'm speaking already, and I'm going to nominate Justin Hodge to be Vice Chair of the Board of Commissioners. I think that we really progressed under Commissioner Hodge's leadership last time, and to have the continuity and the leadership group of people at the county, Commissioner Hodge will be instrumental in continuing to see us forward. He's a strong voice for his constituents. He is an important part of thinking about health and human services as a social worker. I appreciate all the work that he's done, and I would like to nominate Commissioner Hodge. Commissioner Sanders?
I would like to nominate Commissioner Light. And my nomination is based on my knowledge of her constant involvement in the community, especially her districts, but also her ability to show up, respond, and advocate for everyone in her district, including, the people that are in our county that does not have anything to do with their color or their economic background. She is ever present in our county. She is honest and transparent, and she is inclusive. I would just say that I have not experienced that with the other nominee. And I think that it's important that when you say you're going to be inclusive of your other fellow board members, that you actually follow through with that, so that decisions are not being made unilaterally without all of our involvements. So I nominate Commissioner Light for Vice Chair.
Any other nominations? Okay, at this time, we'll take a roll call vote again, and I think I'll follow Clerk Kessenbaum's lead. And when the roll is called, if you could just vote with the name of the commissioner you are supporting. Thank you.
Commissioner Hodge,
Hodge.
Commissioner LeBar,
Hodge.
Commissioner Light,
Light.
Commissioner Machewski,
Hodge.
Commissioner Robbie, Commissioner Sanders,
Light.
Commissioner Scott,
Hodge.
Commissioner Somerville,
Hodge.
Commissioner Beaman.
Hodge.
Okay, so congratulations, Commissioner Hodge. Fantastic. And now at this time, I will accept nominations for the chair. Oh, sorry, I do the rules first. I just wanted to do all the nominations at once. Sorry. All right, so now we are going to look to see if anybody wants to move the resolution adopting rules and regulations.
So move.
Thank you. Support. Thank you. Any discussion? Commissioner Sanders?
This is our first bite. We're coming back to this at another meeting.
That's my intention.
Okay, because I do have some suggestions for changes.
Super. Any other discussion? Okay, is Commissioner LeBar?
Just wanted to clarify on that question. Is it the intent then that we'll have this at another meeting in 2 weeks, Corp Council, or is this our opportunity to amend more rules?
You can certainly, excuse me, you can certainly propose amendments tonight. However, administration thought it would be best to wait until 2 weeks from tonight to make any substantive edits so that board leadership could be settled.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, is this a roll call vote? Okay, a roll call vote. Ashley, thank you.
Commissioner LeBar,
Yes.
Commissioner Light,
Yes.
Commissioner Machewski,
Yes.
Commissioner Robbie, Commissioner Sanders,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Somerville,
Yes.
Commissioner Beaman,
Yes.
Commissioner Hodge.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. And now we'll go on to 3, which is election of the standing officers in accordance with board rules and regulations. And at this point, I will now accept a nomination for chair of working session. Commissioner Robbie?
Thank you, Chair. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
This evening, I would like to nominate Commissioner Labar for Chair of Working Session. Had the honor of working with Commissioner Labar as the two, longest serving commissioners on the board here for quite some time. And I have really appreciated Commissioner Labar's expertise, his way of working with people, his way of trying to build consensus. I think that as working session chair, one of the things that you really have to do is try to give the space for everybody to have that debate, have that negotiation. That's our opportunity to really, air our thoughts in a way that's productive, that we can really come together as a group. And I really feel like Commissioner Labar can do that and has a demonstrated track record of doing that during his time in office. So I'm honored to nominate Commissioner Labar for this position.
Thank you. Any other nominations? Since there's just one nomination on the board, can we just voice vote? Okay. All those in favor of Commissioner Labar?
Aye.
Any opposed? Commissioner Light, Commissioner Sanders? Okay. Commissioner Labar, congratulations. And now I am looking to see if there are any nominations for Vice Chair of Working Session. Commissioner Somerville.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to nominate Commissioner Shannon Beaman. And I'll just share that it's been a little over 2 years now that I've been able to serve with her. I'm really excited for a representative from Western Washtenaw County to have a seat at the table for board leadership. And I think Shannon will do a great job working well both with the leadership team and with those of us who represent different areas of Washtenaw County that have different concerns and needs, just like other board leadership teams in the past have done for Western Washtenaw. So looking forward to it.
Thank you. Any other nominations for Vice Chair of Working Session? Okay, we'll do a voice vote on this as well. All those in favor of Commissioner Beaman for Vice Chair of Working Session, please signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Commissioner Light and Commissioner Sanders opposed. Congratulations. Commissioner Beaman. Great. Now, the next item on the agenda is appointments. However, I'm looking to see if we can adjourn that to a time certain, if somebody would be interested in moving at the time certain I'm hoping for is our next meeting. Commissioner Robbie?
Is it motion to postpone till a time certain or motion to adjourn?
It technically has not been moved yet, so
Oh.
it's in the chair's discretion to remove it from the agenda.
Oh. What's easier? Just remove it? Okay, we're just removing that. Look at that. I can remove it from the agenda, but I will tell you that it will be coming back. It's not like it's just disappearing. That will be coming back in 2 weeks from now. Now, I do need a motion to move the consent agenda.
Support.
Any discussion? And I think we have a vote on that. Voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. There are no resolutions to move this evening, so we'll move on to report from the county administrator.
No report this evening.
Thank you. The next item is report from the chair of the Board of Commissioners. I do have something to say. I promise I won't do this all the time, but I want to tell you that thank you. And I'm deeply humbled and honored by the trust that you have all placed in me to serve as chair of the Board of Commissioners. And I want to tell you this is a responsibility that I do not take lightly. And I'm fully committed to working tirelessly for the betterment of Washtenaw County. I first want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the board for your confidence in my leadership. I also want to profoundly show that I'm profoundly grateful to my family for their unwavering support and encouragement. I think they are watching this now from Florida, so hi, Kieran, that's my son. And I want to say thank you to the voters of District 9 who have continued to express their confidence in me to do this work. I would not be here if it were not for them. Furthermore, I must recognize our dedicated county staff. Your hard work and commitment to our community are truly the backbone of our achievements. Reflecting on the task ahead, I am reminded of the words of the British statesman William Gladstone, who said, "The purpose of government is to make it easy for people to do good and difficult for them to do evil." This insightful observation serves a reminder of our duty to create an environment that supports and uplifts every member of our community. And I hope all of our political heroes, or those that we look up to for guidance, can serve as a poignant reminder of our fundamental responsibility to govern with compassion, wisdom, and an unwavering focus on the well-being of our residents. We have significant work ahead of us. Currently, our county faces pressing challenges. For example, to choose one, which was highlighted tonight by one of the public comments, we have a dearth of affordable housing in Washtenaw County. We have one of the most expensive housing markets in the state. The cost of a 2-bedroom apartment in Washtenaw County is more expensive than 98% of the rest of the state. However, that does not mean that we make more here. In order to afford rent, working a minimum wage of $10.33 an hour, a person would have to work 110 hours a week to afford that 2-bedroom apartment with a rent of about $1,400 a month. The disparity between income and housing costs is a stark indicator of the work that lays before us. Also, with the conclusion of the ARPA rescue funding, we'll need to be exceptionally prudent and strategic in allocating resources to continue supporting those in need. Additionally, the unpredictable nature of future federal policies and potential economic shifts will require us to remain resilient and adaptive. In this role, I want to tell you that I am committed to leading with unity and transparency and a relentless focus on building strong, collaborative relationships, both within our board and throughout the community. Our collective efforts, driven by a vision for a more equitable and thriving Washtenaw County, will be essential in confronting the challenges ahead and harnessing the opportunities for progress. Once again, thank you for entrusting me with this profound responsibility, and with the spirit of unity and steadfast dedication to our shared goals, I believe we can build a brighter, more inclusive future for Washtenaw County. Thanks. Oh, thank you, Yusuf, thank you. That's it. And items for current and future discussion, we have the oath of understanding of the standards of ethics for the Board of Commissioners. I will defer here to our Corporation Counsel, Michelle Biller.
There should be a form for you all to sign at your seats. Yes. So it's essentially it. Just sign away.
Okay, just sign the form. There are no pending items. So at this point, I'd look for a motion to adjourn to the next session.
So moved.
Great. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, yay. A motion to adjourn, always in order, non-debatable. Thanks, everyone. Meeting adjourned.